All right, I'm going to place you in right now. Give me just a moment. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your patience in holding. We now have our speakers in conference. Please be aware that each of your lines is in a listen-only mode. At the conclusion of our speaker's presentation, we will open the floor for questions. Instructions will be given at that time on the procedure to follow if you would like to ask a question. It is now my pleasure to turn this conference over to Jennifer Mizrahi. You may begin.
Hello and welcome and Happy New Year to all of you who are joining us on this call. This is Jennifer Laszlo Mizrahi from the RespectAbility offices in Bethesda, Maryland. And I'm very pleased to release some poll data that is very, very important. However, I'm very saddened to hear the occasion that we're doing it, which is that unfortunately it does appear that some 9/11 responders and others may have defrauded the government of hundreds of millions of dollars by fraudulently claiming that they have disabilities. We here at RespectAbility value very much the legitimate 9/11 responders who have disabilities. We want to ensure that people with legitimate disabilities get the benefits that they need to survive and thrive going forward. However, we are deeply disgusted with anyone who would pretend to have a disability when they don't have a disability, with a deliberate intention of defrauding the taxpayers, which frankly really steals from legitimate people with disabilities, because most disability funds are coming from designated dollars that are really only supposed to be used for those with disabilities. So again, we're deeply disgusted by anyone who would defraud the government and would defraud people with disabilities. We hope that the government will do everything they can to prosecute those who are doing these crimes. We want to be sure to really talk about, though, the fact that Americans with disabilities, which is a very broad group of 56 million Americans, 1 out of every 5 Americans, has the best opportunity to survive and thrive possible. Because of that, RespectAbility began months ago on an endeavor to help figure out what those in America who have disabilities think and care about key issues. We've done a monumental survey, really a lot of deep and important questions. Today we're only going to be releasing a small subset of that data, and actually on Friday at 1:30 we'll be doing a much larger expose of data, but we will be doing it in all in 4 different releases. So there's today, and then on Friday we will be releasing the employment data, very, very significant data, and then after that we will release information on the views of people with disabilities on Hollywood and the news media, and then later on religion and faith. So again, 4 different pieces. But we have a terrific pollster who's done all this work. Her name is Megan Buren, and she has deep experience as a pollster and somebody doing public opinion research. She'll talk about the methodology, and she's going to release the data. I want to encourage all of you to go to the slides so that you can follow along with the presentation. It's very important for you to follow along the presentation. Megan Buren, if you can get ready to start the data, that would be really terrific. Again, Megan is a seasoned pollster, and we thank you very much for this work. It's 3,800 people in the sample. Megan Buren, I'm turning it over to you.
Great, thank you for joining us. I want to echo to start what Jennifer said in terms of the overall message coming out of the news today with people that defrauded the system. And I think what was really interesting from the poll data that we'll go through is that the new poll that shows overwhelmingly that people with disabilities want jobs more than they want a safety net of benefits. And we understand that that safety net is critical to those who need it, which is why the news of today is so disturbing. But what really came through in the poll was that people with disabilities want jobs. And so if you'll turn to, I'm sorry, I'm getting feedback. Are you getting feedback?
I think it should be fine now.
Okay. So if you turn to slide number 2, which is just at the header, after the header slide, you'll see who we polled. The survey was fielded online from November 6th to December 2nd, and we did have a phone option as well for people to take advantage of if they were having accessibility issues with an online survey. It fielded from November 6th to December 2nd. It was shared via our email list, through social media, and from a number of different other organizations in the disability community. And there were 3,839 respondents, of which nearly 2,000 of them are people with disabilities, and the others were friends, family, professionals, and volunteers within the community. So because of the way in which we fielded the survey, that means that this is reflective of an activist community of people with disabilities and their family, friends, professionals, and volunteers. So you see in our sample, it reflects more women, more Democrats, a more highly educated audience than one might expect within the disability community, and potentially because of the fact that it was done online, despite the phone survey options, it likely underreports people with cognitive and intellectual disabilities. So moving on to slide 3, you can see that nearly 3/4 of people with disabilities, so that's 71% of people with disabilities, when asked which is more important to you, say that it's more important that they have a job and are independent than it is that there's a government safety net of benefits so that I will be taken care of. And that's only 7% saying the safety net and wanting to be taken care of. And so when you look at that compared to even friends, family, professionals, and volunteers are still up near 60% saying that they hope their loved one has a job and is independent over there being a government safety net of benefits. And you can see in slide 4 that this really goes across party lines. Democrats, Republicans, independents are all saying in large numbers that it is more important that they have a job and are independent. On slide 5, you can see the same holds true for friends, families, professionals, and volunteers. Again, we're up near 60% in those numbers. It's lower. It is lower than the people with disabilities. Part of that is possible because the sample of friends, family, professionals, and volunteers likely had children, friends, families, and people that they were taking care of with more significant disabilities than the people with disabilities themselves that took the survey. So it's possible that's why you see that difference, but still, despite the difference, we're up near 60% saying more important to have a job. And in slide 6, you can see that that decreases somewhat with age, which is understandable because when you get up to 65 plus, they're not in the same position to be working, regardless of whether or not it's someone with a disability. You're getting towards retirement age, and it makes more sense that they would be more invested in the safety net. But still, even though the numbers are different, they're nowhere near, they're still well within that range of it being far, far more important to have a job and be independent than the safety net. It's just any way that we split up this data, it showed throughout that this was consistent across all of these different demographics. Slide 7, which is important, again, that there is no partisan split on this as well. More than three quarters of people with disabilities said that having a job is important to their happiness. And same holds true, again, for people answering on behalf of a friend or family member. And that's important because when you look at slide 8, you can see that less than a third of the disability community thinks that there is an expectation by society that they should be working. And so there's a disconnect between what society, or at least what the disability community perceives society to think about whether or not they should be working, and how important it is to their own personal happiness that they be active, contributing members of society. So there really is a disconnect there. In slide 9, we'll go into some of the demographics and the voting issues for these folks. This group, like I said, is an activist sample, and so you see very high numbers in terms of those who did vote in the 2012 election on slide 9. On slide 10, though, you see that among those, even though it was a smaller percentage, among those who were not able to vote, nearly 40% of those had barriers related to their disability, including transportation or accessibility, that prevented them from voting. So there is obviously still room for improvement when it comes to accessibility in terms of voting. On slide 11, you can see that 9 out of 10 in this disability community want candidates to take a stand. They are more likely to vote for a candidate for public office if they have a written policy on their website on specifically what they would do to improve opportunities for people with disabilities. That's at 87% and only 2% less. And on slide 12, nearly unanimous at 95% that if they actually have a strong record on improving opportunities for people with disabilities, they are more likely to vote for that candidate based on that record. This goes past just voting patterns, but also to their desire to purchase or recommend products and services on slide 13 of companies that have a reputation for hiring people with disabilities. It goes to, like I said, their desire to purchase and recommend, and also their desire to work there. And when you actually think about these numbers, these are huge numbers. As Jennifer said, 1 out of 5 Americans has a disability, and over 50% of Americans, based on an earlier slide done by an earlier poll done by Laszlo Strategies with Greenberg, Quinlan, Rosner Research, and Public Opinion Strategies, cites that over 50% of Americans have a close friend or family member with a disability. So if you think about just how many people we're talking about, there's a huge amount of voting power in this block. There's a huge amount of purchasing power in this block that really has been largely overlooked in the past. Slide 14, we asked them to rate each of the following on how do you trust them to do the right thing to increase employment opportunities for people with disabilities. So you can see that the numbers are not so great for most, aside from family and nonprofit advocacy organizations are the two that have good scores, and the other ones we would say are mediocre to poor. But President, Congress, and governors are doing particularly badly in this area. And if you look at slide 15, you can see that there is a partisan split on President Obama. So it was 36 overall in terms of, let's say, approval, and the 7 to 10. Democrats were at 53, independents at 26, and Republicans down at 7%. So obviously there was a difference there, but we did not see that type of partisan split on Congress. On Congress, you saw people were displeased and distrustful all around, Democrats, independents, and Republicans. On slide 16, you can see that there is a partisan split also on trust for federal agencies. Not a huge difference, but worth mentioning. But I would say, overall, not doing well in that category either, regardless of the partisan split. Slide 17, you can see that this sample was 51% Democrats, and so you saw much larger numbers there. Slide 18, we had a lot of people in working age groups, so less than 18 to 29, which we'd like to see more of, but from 30 to 64 is the bulk of the people that answered the survey, so certainly within working age on these key employment issues. Slide 19, you can also see a highly educated group with 61% of these people with disabilities having at least a bachelor's degree. And on slide 20, though, you can see in terms of personal annual income, even with those numbers, you're looking at 61% has at least a bachelor's degree, but 47% is making under $30,000. And if you add in, 30 to 49, then you're up at that number. And so, if you look at that number of people with a bachelor's or graduate degree, the income numbers are not necessarily lining up to the education numbers. Understandably that, there is larger employment issues beyond the disability community in the country right now, but it seems that these numbers point to a significant gap there. On slide 21, you can see females versus males in terms of this being, more heavily answered by females. And slide 22, you can see what type of disability. So there really was a good spread of people answering with different types of disabilities. People with disabilities themselves and also friends and family members. And so we had a really a good sample in all of these different categories. On slide 23, I want to take just a minute to thank so many of the other organizations, and you can see their names and individuals here that helped to contribute to helping us craft the survey instrument, distributing it to their list, pushing for their friends and family and followers and advocates to answer the survey so that we could have so much rich information to share with you all. On 24, you can see our board of directors and board of advisors, and lastly is Jennifer's bio and my bio and our information and contact info on slide 27. So I think, Jennifer, if you have something to add to that, if not, we'll be ready to open it up to questions.
I'm ready to open it up to questions, but I want to say thank you to Megan very much for this very helpful presentation, and I want to remind people that there is a lot more data, there are a lot more questions on this survey. We will be releasing that Friday at 1:30, but this gives you some important highlights that really underscores how much people with disabilities want to work. Operator, we're ready to turn it over to calls if there are people on the line that want to ask questions.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we would like to open the floor for questions. If you would like to ask a question, please press star 1 on your touch-tone phone now. Once again, as a reminder, if you would like to ask a question, please press star 1 on your touch-tone phone now. Our first question will come from Kenneth Kelman.
So what I found very discouraging on here was the lack of support for governors and corporations. We've been doing a lot to try and address it, but what more can be done, and particularly to a state or area, the demographics that nothing under the kind of respectability plan to address those two areas.
That's an excellent point that you're raising, Kenny Kalman from Missouri. He's a disability advocate and leader who actually was a fellow here at RespectAbility, an outstanding commitment that he has to this cause. And he raises the question about governors and the fact that there was so much distrust of governors and corporations. So let me address that specifically. RespectAbility has met one-on-one with 16 governors. We were joined in that process by the Autism Society, Best Buddies, National Federation of the Blind, and also USBLN. We did have productive conversations with them, and we've been quite thrilled with the report of the National Governors Association, giving terrific ideas to governors on what they can do to change the dynamics for people with disabilities who are unemployed. Let me just also underscore that 70% of Americans who have disabilities who are working age are currently unemployed. That's 70% of Americans with disabilities who are working age are currently unemployed. That's compared to 28% of Americans without disabilities. That means that there's roughly 11 million Americans who are working age collecting disability benefits. These are the same kind of benefits that unfortunately were stolen by these fraud squad people up in New York who were pretending to be disabled but weren't. But there are 11 million people who are with disabilities who are working age, the majority of whom would like to work. We again have been very pleased with the ideas coming forth from the National Governors Association and with some of the initial enthusiasm by the governors to change this dynamic of unemployment. However, until now, we have not seen very much implemented from their ideas. We've seen very good plans on paper. We've heard some good promises from some. We've been very pleased to see that Governor Walker of Wisconsin, Governor Branstad in Iowa, and some of the other governors are moving ahead. But by and large, there's more talking the talk than walking the walk. And so we have a very long way to go before we see results. And so therefore, it was not surprising to me to see the governors come in with such very low scores in terms of the confidence that Americans with disabilities have in them to get the job done. I think Americans are used to hearing promises from politicians, but what they want to see is results. So operator, are there more questions? Thank you again, Kenny, for this question.
Just as a quick reminder, to ask a question, you may press star 1 on your touch-tone phone now. At this time, we have no further questions in the queue.
Okay, so let me, while we're going through the data, we've just gone through the data, I want to remind you that the data is on our website. You can use it in your Twitter or your Facebook to forward it to people. You can take the release and you can use the release to try and help spread the word. We did this on very short notice because of this news story that just came out about these 9/11 responders and others who apparently have defrauded the system of perhaps hundreds of millions of dollars. I want to underscore that Respectability believes that it's very important to have a safety net for those who need it. We support there being full benefits for those who need it. But the problem is that employers are not yet giving Americans with disabilities the opportunity to have something other than benefits. People want jobs. People want independence. They want freedom. They want the opportunity to achieve the American dream. That's what we here at the Respectability organization are working for, and we see overwhelmingly that that is what is wanted at the grassroots. Again, the sample size of this poll is 3,800 people. Roughly half of the people in the poll themselves have disabilities. Operator, do we have any final questions, or are we all set?
We do have one question that just came in from Alan Bergman.
Great. Alan, fire away.
Hi, Jennifer. First, thank you for getting this out so quickly. Compelling, painful in many respects. One that I want to focus on is slide 8 around societal expectations.
Right.
I hope you plan to do a lot with that in the work that I and many of my colleagues are doing on transition from school to work with ODEP and other Department of Labor initiatives on employment first. This attitude continues to be pervasive in almost every public school system in this country, and we're going to create another generation of low expectations. I don't have the answer. I hope you will take this to the folks at the Department of Education as well. We've got to change this starting in preschool and kindergarten. We can't wait till the transition school years, and I welcome your thoughts on how you plan to use this.
So, Alan, you're quite right. This is very important. The low expectations that a society has is feeding into a cycle of dependency, because people, when they get a diagnosis with a disability, or they find out for the first time, or they have a disease or an accident that leads to a disability, people are saying, well, here's how you access the benefits, as opposed to here's how you access the techniques or the technologies or the equipment that you need so that you can be a fully functioning, independent, successful adult who is able to achieve the American dream. So it's quite true that frequently when a child is 2 years old and they get a diagnosis, that the first thing they hear from government officials are, here's how you can really sign up for benefits for a lifetime, as opposed to here's how you focus on minimizing the deficits that you have because of your disability, but really focusing deep and hard on the assets that you have, the abilities that you have. One of the programs that we've seen and are quite excited about is a program called Project Search. Project Search is a nonprofit organization that I think everyone on the call is familiar with that works with young people transitioning from high school into work by giving them actual work experience. Their last year of school, instead of being in a classroom, they're actually out there on the job, doing 3 different internships, learning 3 different kinds of jobs, enhancing their skills and getting work ready, life ready, independence ready. We're very big fans of this program and would love to see it expanded significantly. But let me just say that the data you're going to see on Friday, Alan, if this interested you as data, it's going to blow your socks off because there's so much more data. And I will say that the sample size is so very large with 3,800 people that we're able to look at the crosstabs and see the generational differences. There are very, very significant differences between people who have disabilities who went through public school after ADA and after IDEA than those who went through school before that legislation was passed. So today we're very disappointed because there's been no improvement in employment outcomes for people with disabilities since the ADA was passed 23 years ago. However, we do see that the people who went through schooling have much higher expectations for themselves. They want to work and they're much better prepared for work than those who came before them. So what we see is that the Americans with Disabilities Act was necessary, important, critical, a wonderful monumental piece of civil rights legislation, but it was necessary but not sufficient. The sufficient part that needs to happen is this transition from school to work. Project Search can be a great model. Bridges, a program run by the Marriott Foundation, is another outstanding model. There are certainly others, but what we will see in the data we release on Friday is a lot more granular information on what people feel are the barriers and obstacles to profound change. Operator, are there any more calls? Let me thank you again, Alan, for that excellent question.
Yes, our next question will come from Gordon Fuller.
Hi, Gordon. Welcome.
Hi, good morning. This is so wonderful. I'm so thrilled. One of the things I'd just like to bring up quickly is, for me, I think a lot of the problem is, of course, clearly cultural bias. Our society has gone to a lot of trouble to make itself fully inclusive as best as it can in terms of removal of barriers, and we constantly make progress that way. But then you see the consumer products, electronics, apps, all the technologies tend not to embrace full accessibility and usability. And in general, we're just not being served in the numbers that we're seeing as people age in our society. So for me, social entrepreneurism is one of the things that I think we have to bring forward. And I'm hoping that in your study, we're going to look ahead and see how we can create more business and innovation dealing with the issues and the unmet social needs that we see before us.
Absolutely, Gordon. That's an important point. And I will say that this data is important, the consumer slide that we did release today, to show that it really is important to customers, Americans with disabilities, that companies and organizations hire people with disabilities and that they are open and inclusive of people with disabilities. That is an important thing. But until now, the disability community, again, this is 1 out of 5 Americans. This is 20% of America. Well, actually 18.6% of America, according to the U.S. Census. 1 out of every 5 folks, 56 million people. That is a lot of customers. And as Megan Buren, our pollster, aptly said, 51% of Americans have a friend, family member, or themselves have a disability. So this impacts the majority of Americans, this disability issue. Again, I just want to underscore, though, that the safety net should be there for those who need it, but we shouldn't need it so much for so many people. Are there any more questions, operator?
Yes, our next question will come from Chris Honeycutt.
I'm interested to know if this same access on Friday will be the access that we have today.
No, actually. We put this together very quickly because of the breaking news. On Friday, we will have some better technology for a webinar. so that it should be easier for blind people to access the PowerPoint slide, and it should be easier for people who are deaf, because at that point what we will have is we will have captioning online that is real time. What we're doing right now is we're actually videotaping this presentation so that we can place it on YouTube. YouTube has a wonderful feature that it automatically captions anything that you put on it. So we're putting this entire call on a video so that later today it will be available on YouTube, so that anyone who is deaf can either read my lips or they can read the captions that YouTube is providing. So, but we had to improvise on short notice, but it will be more accessible on Friday.
Thank you.
Very, very important question.
At this time, we have no further questions.
I'd like to thank those of you who joined us today. I want to thank you for caring about these issues. I want to encourage you to please take this data and share it broadly, widely with your networks. I want to encourage you to also draft op-eds and write in comments to newspapers and others who are covering this breaking news about the fraud story, so that in the comments section of those news articles, it'll have some important facts. So thank you all for your interest in these very, very vital American issues, and I wish you all a Happy New Year once again and a wonderful day. Thank you, Megan, for all this hard work, and thank you all for what you do. Thanks to our partner organizations who helped with the survey. Have a great day.